open up the question.
Yeah, look, that was a Big 12 battle. I mean, this league is so unforgiving. But I'm proud of our guys. You know, we cut that thing to 1 there in the second half. I don't know how much time was left, but really fought our way back into it. And then from there, you know, we go 1 for 5 from the free throw line, like at critical stages. And those are the things, you know, because your margin for error in this league, especially on the road, is so thin and so fine that, you know, those are the things that that hurt you. But, you know, that didn't cost us a game. I look at this. We shot 39% from the field. Credit West Virginia's defense. They're a good defensive team. They're really well coached on that end of the floor for sure. And I thought we had enough good shots to win that game, but they finished better than we did. Okay? And that's indicative of them shooting 52%. So they shoot 52%. We shoot 39%. Okay? They finish better than we finish. And they beat us by plus 16 on the glass. So what I do is I ask myself, like, okay, they beat us 16 on the glass. We shoot 39%. They shoot 52%. How the hell were we in this game? How do we cut it to 1? Like, that's what I ask myself as the Colorado coach. And it was because of our fight and our determination, and our guys don't give up. But we have to finish better offensively. We got to guard better, okay? Because, again, we hang our hat on defense and rebounding. The problem is there's no hook there. There's no hook to hang it on, okay? And where's West Virginia? They can hang their hat on their defense, and it showed tonight. We can't. We can't hang our hook on our rebounding. They can hang. We can't hang our hat on the hook for rebounding. They can. So that's the bottom line. But they're a good team. We got to keep fighting and scratching and clawing. And you know, I told our team this, and I do believe this. I think you can be getting better in this league and improving as a team. Like, I thought our offense, the stuff we ran and how we ran it, was much better tonight than it's been. Much better tonight than it was at Cincinnati. Now, we didn't finish, but you can be improving, but it's not going to show up in the win column. And so that's what I want our players to understand. I do think we're making progress. We're just not making it fast enough and quick enough. But we can't come into another team's building and be punked by minus 16 on the glass and expect to win, because it's probably not going to happen in this league.
Coach, it looked like you're making an extended effort to keep the ball out of West Virginia's guards' hands. They're playmakers and obviously honor.
Yeah.
Did it change anything when Eaglestaff became a ball handler in some stretches?
Well, look, those are their two dudes. We know that coming in. I don't think that's any secret. And, you know, look, it was a 6-point game. It's, you know, low shot clock, and Honor Huff banks in a 3. It's like, you know, that's when you know, okay, it's probably not going to be your night. Because that was good. You know, we played good defense. He banks in a 3, you know, puts them up 9. They get momentum. Crowd gets into it, and it's over. So we did a good job on him, I thought, for the most part. We held him to 6 threes, which is good. Now, Eaglestaff, who we know goes right extremely well, goes right 3 times in a row in the first half and scores a basket. And part of our keys to beating West Virginia is we got to know their personnel. You got to know what's our plan on Honor Huff, and we were trying to double team him and get the ball out of his hands. Did a good job of that, but now the other guys we didn't do a very good job on Eaglestaff. Now credit him; he's a good player, but I don't know how many baskets he had going left tonight.
Coach,
I don't think many, and that's not us knowing personnel. So, but yeah, Eaglestaff's a hell of a player, and so is Honor Huff.
Eaglestaff's obviously a great shooter, but he's had an up and down year this year. What do you think allowed him to explode in this game in comparison to some teams that did?
Well, we don't have very good defenders. You know, I mean, Cincinnati is struggling to score on everybody. Now they got a good win today against a really good Iowa State team, but you know they've been struggling to score, and they shoot 55% on us in the first half and score 43 points. They haven't done that all year, but Colorado comes in the building, and they do that. You know, Colorado comes in, and Eaglestaff now says, "Yeah, Ain't nobody on their team can guard me. I'm going to go off tonight, and he did. So it's, to me, no discredit to him. He deserves credit. He's a good player. But a lot of it is we're not doing our job because we don't have anybody defensively that can say, and we got good offensive players too, but they weren't good enough tonight, and we weren't good enough on defense either.
Coach, when you did take the lead, why do you think the momentum flipped back so quickly to West Virginia?
Well, again, we didn't string together enough stops. That's the whole key with West Virginia is you got to string together stops, and the best way to score on them is in transition. You can't score on them in transition if you're taking the ball out of the net. So, look, they've got good players. I mean, Lorient's a good player. The big kid played really well. Obviously Elijah Malone for us fouls out in 8.5 minutes. I mean, that was big. That was a big thing in that game. But they've got good players, and they played well, and they played better than we did tonight. They deserve to win.
Ted, you just mentioned Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of those fouls were 25, 30 feet from the basket or
Yeah.
at the other end of the floor. How concerning is that for a guy that's played as much basketball?
Well, look, Elijah's playing hard. I mean, I'll give him that, and I know he's frustrated. But, they're setting the ball screen for Huff. We're double teaming him. He doesn't have to body up to him. Like, all he's got to do is contain him. And, Elijah's 6'11", and Honor Huff is 5'10". On a good day. So he's got to use his size and length, not because he's a fast player. And if he dribbles around him, but just corral him and get the ball out of his hands. That was a whole game plan. Was just corral him, get the ball out of his hands, and we weren't able to do that. So yeah, it was frustrating for, I'm sure, Elijah, and I think a couple of his fouls were silly fouls, but happens.
Based on the roster flaws that you're kind of alluding to, what do you think allowed you to build and get a lead at one point in this game?
Our fight. Our guys, they don't give up. I mean, we were down 24 to Texas Tech at home and came back, and, it was a 1 or 2 possession game. We were down 18 to Cincinnati at Cincinnati, cut it to 4. Like, we cut it to a 2 possession game. Tonight we come back and we take the lead, we're right there. Our fight is there. And that's why, we got to keep that. Now, there's a difference between fight and toughness. Fight means you're going to fight and scratch and claw and get back in the game however you can. Toughness is getting beat by 16 on the glass over a 40-minute period of time. And there's a difference. And I think a lot of people think, yeah, they're the same thing. I don't think they are. And I think they were tougher than us. And you don't have 17 second chance points. We did a better job on the offensive glass in the second half. But guys, at halftime we had 1 offensive rebound, and it was from Taco Fall, who played 2.5 minutes a game. They had 6 offensive rebounds, and so that means Taco got 1. The rest of our team got 0. 0. Okay, that ties a dead man. So, look. They have 6 offensive rebounds. They got 5 different guys that have an offensive rebound. 5 different guys. So you tell me who's tougher. West Virginia. So we talked about that. Now, our guys, we talked about at halftime. They came out. We did a much better job. We had 9 offensive rebounds, actually 8 in the second half. We finished up with 9. So we did it, but we didn't do it in the first half. And that's been the problem with our team. So credit West Virginia. They're good. They're well coached. They got good players. Everybody in this league plays hard. Some teams play a little harder than others on certain nights, and that's the challenge that we have.
One final question from Pat.
Ted, what was the thought process in turning to Isaiah tonight for the starting?
Just to shake it up. Don't think it made a big difference. I get asked about it after every damn game, before every game. It's like who starts in our starting lineup has nothing to do with our team's success. So Isaiah started tonight. Did we win? No. So, look, this is a team game, and Isaiah is one of our 5 best players. Anybody that has watched our team knows that. Okay. Whether he starts or not is insignificant to me. And what I appreciate about Isaiah is it's insignificant to him. Whether he starts or doesn't start doesn't matter. He knows he's going to play. He knows how important he is to this team. So I'm sick of answering that question, but you can keep asking it.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Yep.